In the world of professional golf, there exists an elite club. A club filled with legends, household names, and rising stars. A club where membership is earned yearly with time, sweat, and dedication. This week, 50 players will gain entry into this exclusive fellowship. The top 25 from the regular season have already secured their spots, and another 25 spots are up for grabs here this week. Some dreams will be realized. Others will have to wait another day. Who will be next to join the likes of Jason Duffner, Grant Snedeker, and Keegan Bradley as the next great Web.com Tour graduate? EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present opening round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Here we are now at the 11th. It's been a steady performance so far early in this first round, but at some point, Frank, they need to take steady to spectacular.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Rich, and really sooner rather than later, that's for sure. But, yeah, steady becomes boring if it stays on for too long.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway.
Second shot.
Frank, the players out here today really have the opportunity of a lifetime chance to earn a PGA Tour card at the end of this tournament.
And that life-changing opportunity is certainly going to be on the line. All of these great golfers have put in the time to get where they are right now, and they're just one step away. That's right, one step away, maybe this week, of earning a tour card.
Frank, as we watch the Web.com Tour Finals, anyone in particular you think could be a breakout star from this group, someone along the lines of a Keegan Bradley?
Well, the golfer I'm watching right now, really, Rich, is considered a prodigy at the age of 2, and a lot of people in the golf world have just been waiting for this player to come out, and I'm being one of those. Very impressed. The golf swing is excellent, touch, but even the competitive skill.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Now to the par 4 12th, and it's a pretty short hole, Frank.
Yeah, Pete Dye often doesn't get enough credit for his short par 4s. This is a great example where one of the features of it is the blind second shot. Give you a little bit of doubt on judging the distance.
Good tee shot, right in the short grass. Now the approach to the 12th, Frank. What's the player looking at?
Well, it's a fun shot here for the second shot, especially if you've driven it down the right side, because then you can see the flag no matter where it is on the green.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
So a tester from 4 feet. A birdie will send him to 1 under on the leaderboard. One of the great things about this golf course, Frank, a variety of par 3s, different yardages. Here at the 13th, 181-yard par 3.
Yeah, this is where you have to be careful on the tee there. Anything left's just going to be eaten up by that lake. Matter of fact, if you hit one with a little bit of a hook and it catches the mound, it can still kick into the lake. So this one here, just be a little cautious on the tee.
This one doesn't look... Frank, sadly, I've been there too often. In the water, you get down on yourself. What's the right way to approach this mentally?
Well, you've almost got to take a step backwards, Rich. This can add up so quickly. So give yourself a little pat on the back, say it's fine. I mean, you're human. You're allowed to hit bad shots. But the big thing now is to avoid 2 in a row.
Now on to his 3rd shot after the last one went into the water. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Putt drops. Now at 1 over par. Frank, 14 is so often a pivotal hole here at the TPC Sawgrass.
It is, Rich. And when you see a player hit 2 shots comfortably on this green, you think, what's all the problems about 14? But when you see someone stray left or stray right, you realize that 14 is a real bear.
This could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, challenging approach shot here at the 14th.
Yeah, there's some subtle mounds in this green. One that comes in on the right, and then another one that starts to come in about 2/3 of the way down on that left side. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
getting set now over the putt. Well, you just can't make up ground if you don't make putts. Drop shot here at the 14th hole.
It's no snack, though.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
And he's putting for double bogey now. That is a double bogey. Frank, the 15th hole certainly has the respect of the professionals.
But you're right, this is a positional hole where just keep the ball down the left center. You can't go too far, though, because you'll get blocked out. He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there.
Can a ball explode?
That is big. I mean, really big.
Whoa, that is long.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. These putts keep the round together. Wow, I thought he made that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Three over for the day. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present second round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. It's the second round of the Web.com Tour Championship, fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. We saw a lot of great golf on day number one, but as we inch closer, Frank, with those 50 PGA Tour cards up for grabs, that pressure begins to ratchet up.
It would have to, Rich, with that golden ticket come the end of this week, and that's a chance to play on the PGA Tour. But for the time being, Let's look at the way they're playing right now. We are seeing some players play at the top of their game.
Wow, what impact. Absolutely crushed it.
That's fine.
Frank, what we've learned over the years is that the Web.com tool is such a good place to hone your skills for the next step for the PGA Tour because it replicates the PGA Tour environment. 72 holes, a lot of pressure, you're playing for money, and you need to shoot 65s and 66s to win.
It's harder in golf to make that direct comparison. I think to add to your point, if you used other sports, for example, like baseball, AAA, as opposed to regular season baseball, the guy has a specialist position. He's a pitcher or catcher. You can directly correlate his ability with another one in the major leagues. The same with NFL, college, size, speed on the combine, as opposed to professional NFL at the highest level. In golf, it's so multifaceted. So therefore, if you have a good combination of game, it might not stand out initially, but it might be better in the long haul.
We haven't seen a whole lot of that, Frank, but that has to feel good. If you're just joining us, we're at the 15th hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 449-yard par 4. Frank, what's in store here?
One of the prettiest tee shots on the golf course, Rich. Once again, you're coming out of a chute of trees, big bunker down the right side. Really, you want to hug that right side, though. It gives you a better entry into this green. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable, that never deviated offline.
Frank going for 2 in a row now. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Frank, I think one of the things that fans love about this gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, each hole has that sort of hold your breath moment. Certainly 17, we know when that ball's in the air, you're holding your breath. Is it wet or dry? 16, same on that second shot. You're holding your breath wondering, where is it? Right in the water or left with a chance for 3?
That's why you don't want to get too sloppy on that tee shot. A lot of people look at 16 because there's a wide fairway and they think just get it down there. But the extra 10 or 15 yards, there's a little ridge down that left side. If you catch that, the ball will kick good 20 yards further forward. 20 yards is 2 clubs. I'd much rather go into 17 with a 4-iron than a 2-iron.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. He'll need to be strong with this. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity.
Once talked about a golfing prodigy, we're starting to see the real talent come out now. Birdie putt here, gain a stroke, and move one step closer to the PGA Tour.
He's in the hole for a birdie. Through the years, Frank, there have been 6 aces here at 17.
But it's hard to imagine that the last one was back in 2002 by none other than the most interesting man in the game and probably the most interesting par 3 in the game.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Wow, what a shot.
What are the chances of making it from there?
Frank, not to plant the seed of doubt, but we must deliver the facts here on this telecast. 44 balls in the water a couple of years ago, 28 last year.
Rich, that's the announcer's curse. What will he do?
Beautiful looking shot right here.
Well, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it? We talk so much about players' futures. We look at this shot coming up. This man being talked about for many a year. Prodigy, perhaps. But the way he's looked today, I'm starting to be a believer. There surely must be a talent for the future.
Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is going.
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Settles in over the putt. Frank, it has been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey. So 2 rounds in the books. Frank, that was fun.
It certainly was. It bodes well for the weekend. Saw a lot of good players that seem to actually have a good fit for this golf course. That bodes well for the next 36 holes.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present third round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. All right, hole number 11 here at the TPC Sawgrass, 558 yard, par 5, no shortage of options, no shortage of hazards, Frank.
If there's one hole at TPC Sawgrass where you can literally leap out of your shoes, this is it.
Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, these days golfers are training like high-level athletes from other sports. Rory McIlroy, for example, has been using a guy by the name of Steve McGregor, who happened to be the trainer for the New York Knicks of the NBA.
And part of his training now is high altitude. The majority of the medal holders, for example, in the Olympics, or medal winners in the Olympics, actually use high-altitude training. You know, you can develop more red blood cells in a shorter period of time. But, you know, golf, we've had so many different types of training from the athlete side. But you go back to the old days of Henry Cotton beating an old tire. Vijay Singh picked up on that. Or even the rhythm of Sam Snead. He used to count in the rhythm. It was 1, 2, 3. It was 1 at the top of the swing, 2 at impact, and 3 at the follow-through. All those things are still very valid today.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. And he has it for birdie. Up to the 12th, Frank, and a good birdie chance here.
Yeah, good old links, short par 4. This green really divides itself into about 3 sections. There's a little piece to the right, piece short left, and the one at back left. So as long as you know where the flag is, just push that ball into the section where it is. You get up there, you're only going to have 10 or 15 feet left for birdie.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
That is tasty looking right there from just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
And Frank, we always like when they have the whole location back left and that ball trickles down, feeds. You can see some really good ones and maybe even an ace here.
Yeah, just like Mickelson a few years ago. Down there, it looked like it was going to flirt with a bunker, ran up and over the ridge, and in it goes. This is one where you have to play ground ball as well as high ball.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. And setting up here in the rough. That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I tell you, a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
Frank, 14 is so often a pivotal hole here at the TPC Sawgrass.
It is, Rich, and when you see a player hit 2 shots comfortably on this green, you think, what's all the problems about 14? But when you see someone stray left or stray right, you realize that 14 is a real bear. Oh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Frank, there's a lot to factor in on this approach at the 14th.
You can favor right side of this green and sort of allow the contours of the green just to move that ball to the left.
That would be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
Just 5 feet left. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present final round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. This is one of the most exciting days of the year in golf. It's the final round of the Web.com Tour Championship, the 4th and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. And Frank, this is the day that dreams are realized. And I'm talking about lifelong dreams.
You're exactly right, Rich. They say pressure is relevant, perhaps a putt to win a major championship or win a PGA Tour event. What about the thought of actually having another career? That's right, 18 holes. That's what it's going to take today. And maybe you have a career that's going to last for many a year going forward. But it all has to happen today.
Makes it right in the center. Frank, Tiger certainly had his adventures here at 14.
Well, we'll never forget that. Spun it left. In the end, was very, very lucky to get away with 6. Had it been 7, Garcia might have just caught him at the post. But he will, and we will, never forget 14. He's gone for a little extra.
And that ball is absolutely scorched. Just hit a seed out there. Good contact, good result. Frank, challenging approach shot here at the 14th.
Yeah, there's some subtle mounds in this green. One that comes in on the right, and then another one that starts to come in about 2/3 of the way down on that left side.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Pure strike, good result.
And that is close.
This for another birdie on this hole on the week. And that's a birdie. Just before we get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, 15 requires all of your attention, doesn't it, Frank?
Personally, I think this is the prettiest hole on the golf course, Rich. I've actually often gone back there and taken pictures. Just a gentle dogleg to the right. You come out of the chute. Seems to be a generous fairway. You just get a little view of the bunker down the right side, but virtually there's no lip there, so that's not a concern. The green, all sorts of weird and wonderful waves on it, well protected by a big bunker on the left and these 2 little pop bunkers out on the right that, well, if you're first time around, you might notice.
That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Good putt. Frank, fans watching, they love excitement in the game. 16's an exciting hole, isn't it?
Well, that's where you get it, because you hear the roars. You start to see the big crowds that go all the way around 16, 17, and 18T. You feel where you are in the tournament, too. A movement that starts at 16 can be carried all the way to the clubhouse.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. We'll settle. Now the second shot to the par 5. You want to get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18 with a chance. 16 is the reachable par 5. You can make eagle there. And then the final 2 holes, you just want to steer clear of trouble. Though, with bold play, and you mentioned it with Craig Perks, you could make birdies.
It really is a case of mind over matter when you look at those holes. You're right. If you took away the water, you'd think they're 3 nice holes. But it wouldn't be the same. You intimidate the player as he plays 15. He's well aware of the finishing 3 holes.
Good news is, was able to retrieve the golf ball.
Yeah, on dry land, and can he carry it this time, though?
So this is his 4th shot after the last one found the water.
Yeah, it's not all over, but right now, too, he's staring down the barrel of a very bad hole.
So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching 2 tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Frank, how early in the round are you thinking about the shot at 17?
Well, when you're playing well, you're pushing it ahead. Maybe you don't think about it till 14 or 15. If you're struggling, you might be thinking it early as the 5th or the 6th hole. But put it this way, when you make the walk from 16 to 17, you are thinking of it every inch of the way. Hazard?
You went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is, just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
3rd shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
This won't hurt him. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
In this situation, Richard, bogey's not all that bad. He still has the lead.
People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off the water, not only do you see the water and the wooden pockets, you see all the rough and the trees on the right. And of course, then you start bringing 5, 6, 7, even 8 into play. That's what makes this tee shot so hard.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. This is a good-looking shot. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. To win the Web.com Tour Championship. Putting up some impressive numbers out here now, 9 under for the tournament. Just a great putt and a great win. Coverage Way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. Back over to number 7. Has not been a stellar performance to this point, but Frank, not too bad.
Now, when you consider 4-round events, Rich, you're going to have a period where there's a little lull. As long as you can minimize the damage over the course of 4 days, turns out all right.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Pretty good strike right there, Frank, but he's leaning as if it's headed just a tad to the right.
Not all bad.
Trying to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. .555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk. That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
Good-looking shot right here. That one was running so hot. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole.
Even par currently.
Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Frank, the 9th hole at 452 yards with that water down the right is really a test of a player's driving ability, isn't it?
It is, and his ability to sort of take the shot on. Ideally, just something with a little bit of a fade, unless you can carry the ball 300 yards, then you can get it just past that bunker. But when you look at this hole, notice how that fairway just starts to open up. So Pete Dye will reward an aggressive tee shot, but also he'll punish it if it's wayward. Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. And this would be nice. 2 straight birdies. Well, after that birdie, has to be feeling as though they're not out of it just yet.
They're not far away from the first page of the leaderboard. A couple more birdies.
Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good. Well, it's going to take a good one here considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point. Stuck the follow-through right there. This could be really good. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. And getting ready for the putt. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
There you have it, Frank. The first round is a wrap. We saw some good golf out there.
It was certainly a fun round to watch. There's a lot of great players in this field, and this is such an exciting venue. I just can't wait to see what happens the rest of the championship.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Today it's live second round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. Good contact, good result. Probably not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
TPC Stadium, of course, has played host to the Skins Game, PGA Club Professional Championship, the Liberty Mutual Legends of Golf on the Champions Tour. I always enjoyed that. And along with the Jack Nicklaus Tournament course right next door, the finals of the PGA Tour qualifying school for a number of years. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Wow, what a shot. Doesn't even need the putter. This is the second par 5 at PGA West of 600 or more yards. The 16th is a pretty good test. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
And he's set up for his third shot here, looking to get it on the green with this.
Oh, solid strike.
Perfect. And in the hole. What a shot. Well, Frank, the most famous island green obviously is TPC Sawgrass, Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, Pete Dye's creation. People forget this is also an island green here in the California desert.
And it's called Alcatraz, and I've never heard of anyone trying to break into Alcatraz.
Good chance at one. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Good birdie right there, Frank.
Oh, time to get another cup of coffee. Things are heating up.
Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards, but again, we've said it all day long, water to deal with.
It's a great driving hole here, Rich. You don't necessarily have to hit driver. There's three groups of bunkers that are really in play off the tee shot. It's the one in the middle. It's around 290 yards. That's the one you really have to focus on. For stronger players, there's nothing wrong with hitting 3-wood off the tee there. You're still only going to have a shot of 150, 160 yards. Whichever way you look at it, it's something that you think you can find the fairway with.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Settles in over the putt. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just a couple of feet. Good roll. Solid. That's a par. 2 rounds in the books, Frank, and a good spot from which to make a move.
Yeah, well positioned. Really, you know, if you're leading, it's a different pressure. Being in the chaser pack there, playing well, what a great position to go into with 2 rounds to go.
Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, continuing at PGA West in the Career Builder Challenge. We're on the back 9 now. Hole number 10 is 416 yards, a medium length par 4, but again, player has to deal with water.
It is. This is a double dogleg, really, and if you don't get the ball on the fairway, you're going to kick yourself.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. This shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That would be a great look at birdie. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Doesn't get into the lead with that par, but Frank, sometimes, and you know this as well as anyone, you just have to kind of maintain your footing out there. Now at the long par 5 11th. They call it eternity with good reason. It is 617 yards. Frank, what's the game plan here?
Hit it as long as you can, hopefully only a couple of times, and you can get fairly close to this green, little pitch up there. But even if you go for this green or try and get close, that's when you start to notice the water that comes in on the left side. So you can't just bash away. Might only be a couple of bunkers in play off the tee, but they have to be avoided.
Now his third, staring right at the green. Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. And now, pretty good chance for birdie. Getting set now over the putt. Well, maybe lifted right there, just sort of peaked. This would give him the par. Those keep the round going, those par putts. To the par 4 12th here at PGA West, short at 363 yards. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, what's the right play here? Second to the short 12th.
Short flags, obviously got to keep it on that front section. When you've got a back flag, you've got to get it over that little faint ridge that's in the middle of this green. Got to go past that.
Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Moves into second place with that birdie. Tricky par 3 here, the 13th, 214 yards. What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Good putt. Frank, what's the best way to make 3 here at this 389-yard par 4 14th?
I'm not sure, really. I know there's 2 definitive options, hitting it down the left or carrying over the bunker. And I think that's another example of Pete Dye. There's one of those holes you never really know if you've made the right play till you finish the hole.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Frank, what's the key here? Second shot at 14.
Green sits up a little bit, well protected by those bunkers there. A nice high, soft landing shot.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Just a beautiful approach shot. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Did the job right there. Well, Frank, we are turning home. It says so on the scorecard here at 15.
It is, and once again, another example of great bunkering by Pete Dye. Bunkers on a lot of golf courses are just simply left and right, but what Pete Dye does, he lets them cut in, especially that one down the left side of the fairway it cuts in, so it has to be avoided, and it's going to be about 280 yards to take it completely out of play. That's probably the best line, is to get it just past that last bunker on the left side.
Appears to be tracking well. Well, he didn't knock down the flagstick right there, but 25 feet, that's not too bad. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Frank, he might like this one. He might like... Oh, he's going to love it, Frank.
Normally you'd be happy to take two from there. What's one going to feel like? Great putt.
Good third round, Frank, and a good spot heading to the final 18.
Yeah, to be in the top 5 right now, the caliber of this field, know that your game is good enough too, and a legitimate chance of taking home the trophy come tomorrow night. This really is what all those hours on the range contribute to, this moment right now.
This is EA Sports. EGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today, it's the final round of the Career Builder Challenge. Solid par 4 here. The 15th is 468 yards.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, this one's headed way right.
And rough trees, all sorts of problems on that right side.
Frank, this is where the mental game really comes into play. You've hit a second consecutive shot into the rough.
This could compound very, very quickly. So now's a chance to just take a little breath, take a breather, and try to make sure this shot certainly gets out.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Trying to get out of here without too many bumps and bruises. This one is for bogey. And that's a bogey. Par 5 16th is a slight dog-leg left at 600 yards.
Oh, that's fine.
In the fairway, down there about 290.
Second shot.
Players aren't just grabbing any old golf club these days, Frank. It's about spin rate and launch angle and all of those sorts of concepts.
Yeah, and the grooves. All those things help the player. Even the loft on wedges now. loft has increased. We now see 64, 65 degree sand irons, so they get the ball up quicker and it stops quicker.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
So a tester from 4 feet. Bang for another birdie. 8 under par for the tournament. Well, we've arrived at Alcatraz, the signature hole here at PGA West.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That one inside of 10 feet, really dialed in. Not a gimme, but well within his range. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his middle. Even par currently.
Steady climber right here with another par.
In the top 5. Should be well pleased with that right now.
One great hole after another here at PGA West. The finishing hole, no exception. Frank, what can we expect here?
Great finishing hole. It's amazing. If you took the 3 bunkers we're first going to see down the right side, this would almost be a nothing hole. Because they're perfectly situated here, they really shrink up that driving area down the left side. And this is just a reward for a great swing, a great strike, a great shot.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Oh no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here. Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win. So a tough way to close the round, missing a short putt and a bogey here at 18. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
With time running out, Rich, that's what's going to make that bogey sting even more.
Can't afford to give him away at this point in the championship. EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the BioWare Classic. Getting set for all the action on what my idol Vin Scully would have said was a beautiful afternoon here in the Sunshine State. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Getting ready at Wetlands Golf and Country Club. An interesting layout, Frank. The players are ready to go. And what are you thinking about as you get set to tee off?
Well, you're thinking about you're going to play a long golf course, sort of mid 7,000 yard range. But this is a golf course that you actually do get to hit your driver more often than not. So it's a good driving golf course. Green's relatively flat as well, but be careful if you're a little weak of heart. Look left or right, you might see the odd gator or two.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Solid play, heart of the green.
It's no snack though.
Wow, that's disappointing. Chance to get too deep on one hole and you leave it short.
Well, the good thing is he didn't miss it, right? It didn't go past the miss. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Okay. Still has a chance for birdie, too.
Right, okay. I like that positive attitude.
Par 5 12th here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club is 576 yards. First par 5 on this backside. Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Well, this one should be safely on deck here.
Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Third shot, looking for a good one. Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
Frank, he has to be scratching his head as he reaches for a sand wedge or a gap wedge for his next shot.
Well, you know, the FedEx Cup, Rich. I mean, you're meant to get there by 10:30 tomorrow. That thing's still going.
Just a little tap in here. Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. A lot of excitement here. Let's take you out to the action once again at the 13th. Frank, how would you assess this first round performance from our featured golfer?
I'd say commercial, solid, very professional. If this is the worst round they score all week, it's not such a bad round.
In the fairway here at the 13th. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Frank, that is nothing more than a punch to the gut.
Oh, it's cruel, Rich. Good putt and deserves so much more. Another shot added, though.
I mean, takes the wind right out of your sails. Did the job right there. Good par 3 here at the 14th. It's a little bit more than 200 yards, Frank.
And there's a bunker short. So you've got to fly that coming in there. And if you do miss time one, that's when that body of water to the right really comes into play. Typical Floridian golf, but high-flying, soft-landing tee shot, once again, is the goal.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Still playing even for the day after the par. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports for our entire crew. I'm Rich Lerner saying, so long for now. EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the BioWare Classic. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Getting set to go at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. We're located along the St. Johns River in the great state of Florida. Here at the par 5 7th at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club, 592 yards. But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Trying to make yet another birdie. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
That is a solid par putt. 8th hole here at the Wetlands, par 3, 203 yards. You like this hole, Frank?
I do, actually, but you have to have a little look at your yardage book because that front bunker will make this hole look a little shorter to the eye than actually what it plays. Green gets a little narrow as it gets deeper, but flat and, well, I wouldn't say easy. 3 here, not too bad.
Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. They'll be pretty happy with that one. About 20 feet away, in a good spot. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Frank well off the pace, but the true professionals, they keep digging, trying to get better. Finishing up the front side here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club with a par 5, 621 yards.
I'm loving that balance.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Second from an excellent lie.
Yeah, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Well, he's on the green, but still plenty of work left. About a 25-footer coming up. Par yesterday. Now for birdie.
Oh, what a bonus.
Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back nine, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Pretty good shot right there. And getting ready for the putt. Missed putt and a drop shot here at the 10th. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
So they'll tap in. Frank, you know full well, this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
That concludes the second round here at this amazing golf course. And Frank, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
I certainly am as well. The players have gotten off to a very good start, and they must have a good feel for the course right now and know what they have to do in order to win.
In association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the BioWare Classic. Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Frank, can you recall a situation where before an important round, an instructor gave you one small tweak, maybe flare your left toe out, or just shift a little bit of the weight onto the back foot, where the instructor gave you that one small bit of advice and it made a huge difference?
Yeah, the list is too long, Rich, and it's normally just someone that you've trusted over the years, and we all make just little bad habits. Sometimes you're stooped over a little bit more than normal. You're not standing tall enough. The ball is too far back in your stance or too far forward. You're making a funny little move, or your grip is different. It's always the little things that add up to the big problem.
Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Getting set now over the putt. Has the birdie, now at 1 under par for the tournament. On to the 8th. It's a par 3, 203 yards. What's going on here, Frank?
Interesting par 3, really. It looks anything other than a straightaway hole. That bunker short of this green gives you like an optical illusion. You think it's lapping up with the front of this green, but there's actually sort of 3 or 4 yards before you get to the putting surface. A little bit of a drop-off behind this green, and it narrows out the deeper the green gets. So, a tricky little par 3.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie.
No, Rich, that was a huge putt. You don't expect to make them from that distance.
The 9th hole, Frank, is a muscular par 5, 621 yards.
You see why length is a huge advantage of this golf course, just under 7,700 yards. This hole here, another example, good tee shot. Perhaps think of going for the par 5 and 2, but a great collection of 3 bunkers that sort of annoy you with your layup there. Got to make sure you avoid all of those to leave yourself a nice little wedge shot in here if you can't reach it in 2.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Suddenly a ray of sunshine with that birdie.
And there is hope. And on the top 25.
Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
Second shot, good look at the green. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Locked in on the read and the speed. In for par.
So through 3 rounds, just outside the top 10, what kind of a chance do you give a player who is sitting outside the first 10?
Yeah, it's slim. I certainly would not say none, though, Rich. We've countless times over the years seen someone post an early one in and watch the leaders crumble at the end. Good opportunity tomorrow. Put a good round on the board and then just sit back and wait. And then remember, there's also the chance of a playoff.